Well, here we are, our first podcast,
Here we go.
and I'm nervous.
Super
Definitely
duper
nervous.
duper duper nervous.
Never been in front of the camera like this, so definitely something that to work on, releasing all the insecurities and getting better at this. So, yeah, man, I'm really nervous. We've been thinking about this for a while already. Probably like
And today's the day.
today's the day.
Today's the day we go through with it. So
Just
let's
do it,
get it.
record it, and get it through. We've been thinking about it for 2 months, and yeah, well, we're here. And so this podcast is really all about just talking about anything and everything, you know. And this first episode will really be based off where we started and where we're at right now.
Y los
And
planes, the plans.
sí, y los planes que vienen de ahora adelante. But yeah, so a little introduction. My name is Ale Figueroa. Soy de Puerto Rico. Nací allá. Y me crié en los Estados Unidos. So I've been here already. Wow. I'm about to hit 40. So I've been here already 38 years. And in music, they know me as Lex. And I've been working with Robin. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Saludo, Robin John Méndez Santiago. Mucha información. 44 años, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Llevo en los Estados Unidos desde el 1990. So, how many years is that?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot of years.
Me conocen como DJ Robin, DJ productor de Don Omar. Llevo trabajando con mi compañero Alex desde el 2004, ¿verdad? 2004?
2004 o 2005.
Something like that.
Something like that. Nos conocimos en Orlando.
Yeah. I think it was through Quest, DJ Quest, ¿verdad?
DJ Quez. Yeah.
DJ Quest. Introduces con... whose song was it? Was it Fantasma? Or?
Sí, yeah. Estábamos trabajando con...
No, tú estabas trabajando
yo
con
estaba trabajando con un muchacho
Fantasma.
de Tampa haciendo música y se llamaba Fantasma. Y yo lo que sabía hacer era mucha melodía, pero cuando llegó a la parte de la batería de reggaetón, no sonaba bien. Entonces ahí no sé cómo me encontré con DJ Quest. De eso no me acuerdo. No sé si fue Fantasma que lo conocía, pero DJ Quest habló de alguien con quien trabajaba que le metía bien a la batería y fuiste tú, Robin. Entonces desde ahí nos conocimos. We met in front of where I was working. Yo estaba trabajando en Burlington Coal Factory.
Burlington, that's right, la de Colonia.
We used to work at Burlington Coal Factory. And
damn,
I think, yeah, I was still in high school. Y entonces, desde ahí te conocí and we went to my house y desde ahí we started making music. And we had a good connection, we had good vibes, and we just continued working. Until this day, we're still here.
Still making music.
Yeah.
Damn. ¿Verdad? Burlington, that was a long time ago.
Damn, yeah, that is true.
Sí, pero I also remember que había un tema que Black Omar. Yo estaba trabajando un tema con Luis Guille.
Oh, yeah, Luis Guille.
Y Luis Guille, y tú hiciste más o menos el mismo ritmo que había, y de casualidad, cuando nos juntamos en tu casa, ahí fue, pues esta canción, y después yo, pues yo había hecho esa canción. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I think so.
Entonces, besides me meeting you in Burlington, ya in a way our path had crossed because ya yo había trabajado el tema de Luis Guille, que Luis Guille te trajo a ti.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Y ahí fue que that's how we really started working, because you were really fixing una canción que ya había empezado.
Fruity Loops 4.
Sí, algo así.
Yeah, we're working on Fruity Loops 4. It was actually really good times.
It was fun. No, not too much politics.
Yeah. And no pressure.
No, not at all.
When you do music on your own, just because you love doing it, that's fun and being creative. But when it turns into a business aspect and there's deadlines, the magic and the fun kind of dissipates.
Out the window.
Yeah.
Out the window. It's a whole different ballgame. But explain how did you get started with the violin y cómo llegaste al reggaetón.
Dang. Okay, so empecé a tocar el violín como a los 10 años. 10, 11 años, algo así. Yo vivía en New Jersey. Y desde chiquito siempre me gustaba la música. Yo tenía un pianito bien chiquito y siempre le estaba tocando, tú sabes, escuchaba algo como la canción de Happy Birthday o cualquier canción que escuchaba en la radio, lo podía sacar los tonos.
Lo retocaba.
Ajá. Y entonces mi mamá vio eso, que me gustaba mucho la música. Y entonces ahí me preguntó qué instrumento quiere empezar a tocar. And I didn't know. I was like, whatever, because anything interested in me. I liked it, anything. Pues yo tocar violín, el violín es un instrumento difícil, el lindo y caché, como yo decía. Pues, okay, so we got into violin. And then I started taking private lessons. And then from there on, later on years after, high school and everything, I came to Orlando, Florida. And in Orlando, Florida, I started making beats. And empecé a hacer música con un muchacho que también iba a mi high school, que al momento le decíamos Laden.
Oh, yeah, Laden.
Pero el nombre de él hoy en día en la música es True Hollywood. Young Hollywood,
Young Hollywood.
Pues yo empecé a hacer música con él y él me enseñó a hacer ritmo y cómo trabajar el programa Fruity Loops. Ahí yo compré el programa, empecé a hacer música y empecé a hacer ritmos de reggaetón. Y a los ritmos de reggaetón empecé a tocarle el violín por encima. Entonces en la escuela, en los talent shows o lo que sea, yo ponía mi pista que yo había hecho y tocaba el violín. De ahí conocí, fast forward un poco, conocí al muchacho de Tampa, Fantasma, conocí a Robin y conocí un señor que... Jerry Estrada.
Que fue una pieza clave.
Ajá. Él invirtió mucho dinero en mí y en Fantasma y eso, en viajando y haciendo party donde sea. Y un party que hicimos en Connecticut, en Waterbury, Connecticut. Y era un show que habían a la época artistas de reggaetón, old school y new school. Y había unos muchachos ahí que se llamaban Weebal y Alex, que estaban tocando. Entonces yo tenía como un show hecho y ahí toqué en vivo con mi música y también con canciones conocidas del tiempo. Y entonces después del show ellos se comunicaron conmigo, me dijeron, oh mira, que me gustaría trabajar contigo, tú sabes, quitar nuestra información, dame tu información. Y we exchanged numbers, but I never heard from them again. And then we go ahead and we fast forward to like a year later or a year and a half later, probably like 2 years or so. Y yo estaba en mi casa y vino un muchacho, se llamaba Emil.
Emil.
Entonces Emil estaba ahí conmigo en el estudio y me dice, mira, que me tengo que ir, que voy a buscar a estos muchachos al aeropuerto, algo así, que van a ir al hotel porque mañana tienen un concierto en House of Blues aquí en Orlando. Pues yo le conté, I'm like, damn, I haven't seen those guys in a long time. They told me they were going to communicate with me, but I never heard from them. He said, okay, bueno, yo veo si yo hablo con ellos. Then, probably like 2 hours later, o el próximo día, no me acuerdo, pero él se comunicó conmigo, me llamó. Emil, sí, me dice, yo, estoy aquí con los muchachos, ellos se acuerdan de ti. They lost your information, but they want you to come over right now to the hotel because they want to meet with you and bring your violin. Okay, so fui para allá. I went over there and I went to hotel y, y me saludaron. Me dicen, mira, esta es la música de nosotros. Y pusieron la música en su celular, no sé, un speaker. Me dicen, saca el violín y toca esto. Y pues pusieron una canción y yo improvisé y toqué esa canción. Entonces la próxima. Y me dijeron, mira, si quieres, vamos esta noche a House of Blues y vamos a tocar para que toque con nosotros. Y también te vamos a dar una sección para que tú hagas tu presentación. And I was excited, I was nervous, but I was like, oh yeah. So fuimos a House of Blues y toqué las canciones con ellos, me introdujeron como si fuera su artista nuevo y todo, y hice mi rundown, mi show. Y desde ahí me fui con ellos para Puerto Rico después. Y ahí fue que conocí yo creo que el que estaba manejándolo a ellos al momento, no sé si era al momento o después, pero era Carlos Cordero.
Carlos.
Carlos Cordero. Y Carlos Cordero, empecé a trabajar con él, firmé con él. Y desde ahí, por Carlos Cordero, es que ni me acuerdo cuánto tiempo después, pero a través de Carlos Cordero es que termino a conocer a Don Omar. Y entonces se comunicó Don Omar conmigo porque había escuchado un demo mío que Carlos le había enviado. Y entonces me llamó un día a Carlos Cordero con Don en la línea y Don me dice, mira, si quieres, me gustaría saber si te gustaría empezar con la gira conmigo, de King
Participar
of
en la gira.
Kings. Ajá. Y from there, like they say, is history. I started in 2006. The first show was October 11th. I don't know if it was October 12th, 13th, or 14th, probably 13, 14, something like that, in Connecticut. And I remember that because it was my 21st birthday. I just turned 21. And y desde ahí, I continued and we continued working together. And at the time, Eliel was his DJ. But the moment that Eliel left, quickly like, oh, Robin's a DJ, Robin's really good. And he heard you. And from there, apart from being his producer also, because our first time we worked with him was Idon, but apart from being his producer, he also became his DJ full time.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at right now.
But for me, it was different. I started my career como DJ. Yo siempre supe, pero yo me acuerdo como si fuera ayer. La primera vez que yo escuché reggaetón fue diciembre 23 del 1994. I won't forget it.
Damn.
Y fue a Playero 38. Desde ese momento yo supe exactamente qué es lo que yo iba a hacer. O sea, todos mis amigos sabían, yo siempre lo decía en la escuela, yo era pelotero y tenía oportunidad de jugar en la Grandes Ligas, la rechacé, and I focused straight on wanting to be a DJ. Got my turntables, practice. God was able to be en todas las discotecas en Orlando. Tuve la oportunidad de estar en todas las emisoras en Orlando. Pude tirarle las pistas a los artistas, que realmente was my main goal, to be a tour DJ, and I was able to DJ for a lot of the acts. It's funny, my first opportunity como DJ fue el primer concierto de Don Omar en Orlando, que fue en Chateo Royal, en el creo que fue 2003, 2004. De ahí, gracias a Dios, tuve la bendición de estar en todas las discotecas, todas las emisoras, que I stopped making music. I mean, stopped DJing. That's when I started meeting you.
So you actually did work with William before actually being his official DJ.
Claro, but I didn't know him per se, pero fue que tuve la oportunidad de que, mira, tu primer party. And it was super dope. Pero me acuerdo que back in the day había una regla de que si tú vas a tocar un party de un artista, you can't play his music. So for example, si yo estaba abriendo para Don Omar, Y Don Omar iba a cantar, o sea, iba a ser el artista que iba a cantar esa noche. He was performing. I could play none of his music.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So that sucked because it already took half of everything that was playable.
Because it was
Porque
popping.
él
Yeah.
estaba bien pegado. So that made it very difficult. But that was my first opportunity. So, like I said, I wanted a different challenge. Varios amigos míos me dijeron, mira, ponte a la producción. I got a computer. I got Fruity. And I really never, yo nunca he cogido clases de música. So, it was easy for me to, o sea, las baterías, yo sabía más o menos de que, figure it out. That's when I met you. O sea, Quest spoke to you about me, and that's when we started, working together. Y you were always de la melodía. I remember que incluso that was one of the things that frustrated. I couldn't hear like what you were hearing, and everything that I would try to do siempre era bien fuera de tono, bien. O sea, si era acá, yo estaba acá. Y when you got the opportunity, porque sí, bueno, we gotta go back a little bit. Por lo menos mi primera oportunidad de hacer música así, cuando empezamos fue con Luis Guille, después Fantasma, después tuvimos la oportunidad de participar con Felito
Yeah, Felito
en Los
Figueroa.
Titeretes,
Uh-huh.
varios discos más de Felito el Caballote, Felito Point Breaker, del dúo Point Breaker. De ahí tú te fuiste para Puerto Rico con Carlos, trabajaste con Brain, de una foto, La Reunión,
Oh, Brain, yeah, he did something he was doing something
con
with
Wiwali
Wally
Alex,
Alex, yeah.
pero el disco creo que fue la calle.
El repertorio de Wally Alex.
Sí,
Yeah.
pero o sea, ese tema salió en la calle,
Okay,
el de
okay.
una foto.
Okay.
So it was something, anyway, it was something like that. Then you went to trabajaste con Carlos. Carlos te firmó exacto de una mucho Puerto Rico. Okay, so here's where it gets funny. When we go to Puerto Rico, mind you, I was working en todas las discotecas en Orlando. Estaba yo en todas las emisoras. I go to Puerto Rico. I leave everything. Carlos me dice, vente con, con Ale para Puerto Rico el primer día. No me gusta cómo tú haces música. Tú estás aquí por Lex. And those words were very important porque realmente Carlos me empujó a trabajar de una forma de que me obsesioné con
La música.
claro, porque me están diciendo que I wasn't good enough. And I've never had that
Yeah.
happen to me. But I needed to hear that because I needed to learn.
Yeah, that's fuel.
Claro, because I just given everything up.
Yeah.
And I just landed, and like 6 hours later, you learn that you're here, but you're really not here. You know what I'm saying? Pero le doy muchas gracias porque cuando yo estuve ahí, él me dio su estudio.
Yeah.
Yo tenía el estudio 24 horas al día. Me presentó a Tiny, me presentó a Naldo, Nelly, estaba Wibaliales que estaba en la compañía, Yadiel estaba en la compañía, Omi estaba, ¿me entiendes? Que había muchas oportunidades. Esa misma noche que fuimos, ahí fue que conocimos los Mambo King, a Nelson, mi buen amigo Alex Killer. O sea, con Carlos llegó muchas oportunidades. Tú llegaste a donde William y eventualmente después de eso, yo llegué a donde William.
Yeah.
So everything just followed up beautifully. Pero lo que me dijo Carlos ese día fue para mí fue muy, muy, muy importante. O sea, fue mucho, nunca lo tomé mal. Eso fue una verdad que tenía Robin, tienes que apretar, tienes que mejorar en esto. You're not up to par. I can respect that. Pero también dice que él respetó la lealtad que tú tenías para mí de que somos dos. So I'm grateful for las oportunidades que me dio Felito y que me dio Carlos. Porque sin esos dos comienzos nunca hubiéramos llegado a donde Don Omar.
Yeah, it all happened for a reason.
Claro. O sea, y después de eso vino Naldo, como dije, vino Tiny, vino Nelly, que Nelly fue una pieza bien grande, que Nelly me invitaba siempre a la casa, me invitaba al estudio, que yo pude aprender mucho, mucho de Nelly. Alex Killer fue otra pieza bien clave porque él estaba filmado con Looney Tunes y él fue uno de los pocos artistas que siempre me estaban viendo a capela. Y uno pudo trabajar buscando los tonos. O sea, yo me desarrollé como productor ya estando en Puerto Rico como dije, con Naldo, con Nelly, con Tiny, con Yadiel, con Wibaliales, Naomi también fue
Oh,
una
yeah.
pieza sumamente importante. Naomi, para la que no conocen, Naomi, she's a dope producer, dope artist. My best music has been con ella. O sea, ella,
Naomi August, yeah.
sí, ella para mí fue la pieza más clave porque ella me hizo expandir más de lo que era el reggaetón. Y
Mm-hmm.
eso fue un pequeño bootcamp antes de yo irme a trabajar con Don Omar. O sea, meses antes, yo me acuerdo que hicimos Ceci Robótica en octubre del 2008. Yo estaba trabajando con ella ya en mayo del 2008 y ya el sonido de ella era más americano.
Yeah, she's always been very
So it
Americanized.
obligated
Mm-hmm.
that the shift from the motif and the nexus into doing different things,
Yeah,
in music, and that played dividends. So when we went to New York to work in Idon, those few months with Naomi, working those records with Naomi was key.
yeah. You know what's crazy that you say you started listening to reggaeton in '94?
Yeah, my first song, I know what it was.
I don't know shit about reggaeton. I heard reggaeton for the first time, I think, in 2004. I think it was like
Jesus.
2003, 2004, where like Evie Queen, what she had dropped her album, or um, what's Daddy Yankee's album before Barrio Fino?
Creo que el Cangri, los honrones de
Los
Yankee.
Hombrones.
Los honrones
Yeah,
de
and people in
Yankee.
school be like, "Yo, you like," and because when I moved to Orlando, I went to a all Puerto Rican high school, University High School in Orlando, and I mean, like, even the principal was Puerto Rican. But I came from New Jersey in an all white neighborhood, which I was the only Puerto Rican there. So everything I was growing up was techno, pop, dance. And I come to Orlando and people are like, "Oh, you like reggaeton, this and that, you like Daddy Yankee." I'm like, I mean, like, yeah, I do like the Yankees, but I didn't
No
know they were
sabía que
actually
era,
talking
ok,
about an
el
artist.
artista.
And then they would play the music, and honestly, I'd be like, bro, that sounds I'm like, I didn't like it.
Bro,
I didn't like it at
see, I'm
all.
the
But that's
opposite.
what everyone was listening to. And obviously, because you're in a town now, a city where there's a lot of Puerto Ricans, a lot of Hispanics, coming from a neighborhood that was no Hispanics. So the culture was completely different. The music was completely different. And then, so I would just keep hearing that over and over and over and over. And then, so that's why a lot of my original music that I started making, reggaeton, if you really listen to it now, which is horrible, but it was really techno with the reggaeton rhythm. It was just like dance, pop, whatever, but with a reggaeton rhythm.
So Jersey Shore meets Puerto Rico. Ya
Something like
estamos,
that.
ya estamos.
It was horrible. But yeah, I didn't know anything about reggaeton. And today I can't say that I'm that's my forte, because reggaeton is definitely not my forte. I think my forte and one of our fortes really is orchestral cinematic music. This is really what we listen to the most.
Yeah, so it's funny because when I first heard reggaeton, instantly I knew, like I said, I knew I wanted to do it. Like I said, I remember the song I was listening to, the album, the artist. I remember all that, and I thought it was amazing. And but going to that, it's funny you mentioned that what we do is orchestra music because a few minutes ago I said that I couldn't hear nothing.
Yeah.
I was horrendous, and I remember I gotta give, you know me very well that the only way I learned how to finally figure out the music was through a song called Davy Jones from the Pirates of the
Oh my
Caribbean.
God, yes.
Listen, I played this song every day. Well, he'll tell you it will be on for hours, and I mean hours, and I will get it and I will slow it down to be able to hear it, but I figured out everything with it and just clicked like that. And since that day, I've pretty much understood music fairly well, I would say, where I could do a few things and yes, that's the main genre of music I listen to as well. Scores. I love that shit. Me encanta esa música, ese tipo de música. Y me gusta combinarla. O sea, yo sé que mucha de la gente no ha escuchado ese tipo de música de nosotros, pero realmente that's what we do.
That's what we enjoy doing. Like we could get lost into it. I think it's really because we use our imagination, we use our creativity. Because I don't know if every producer goes through this when you're producing for an artist or anything like that, but you have to cater to them. And a lot of times, I don't know, there's very many few times where they say, okay, let me cater to you. What do you want the track to sound like? And I'm gonna go off of that. But a lot of times you have to cater to the artist. And when you do that, your creativity is shot down because you had this vision of what that music should be, and all of a sudden that artist says, yeah, but can you change this or take this out and take this out, take this out. And in the end, it's like a skeleton, a bare skeleton of what your vision was. But when you do cinematic music, you go all in.
I mean, you have to look at it that you have to be all in because there's no words. You're
Mm-hmm.
every music, it's like a phrase. So you have to create a whole story with just music, and that's the fun part about it.
Yeah, I see it like art. Like, for example, I like music that has no lyrics for the most part. The reason I do is because you can envision the lyrics that you want. You can envision the picture that you want. When you have music with lyrics, you're ready. The only thing you can see is what they're talking about. And that's the subject of that theme, and that's it. When you create cinematic, or you listen to cinematic or orchestral music, one person can have their eyes closed and hear it and think of one thing, and another person can be picturing something completely different.
Completely different, yeah.
And then when you put it to film or anything like that, then that would be the lyrics, because now you're
Correct. Now
seeing
you're
what it is.
seeing.
But before that, you can envision anything you want. It's like a painting. Someone can see a painting and see, I see this, or I feel this, or another person feels something completely different.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
yeah.
But the cool thing also about doing like this the composition that there's no way to approach it like on a song. There's a format that you kind of have to approach it like tú haces la referencia, busca los tonos, then someone has to write. Where when you do an orchestration or you're doing a composition, you could actually start by the main melody instead of looking for chord progressions.
Mm-hmm.
So like the process is totally different, and también tiene que ver lo que una canción that a song, a 3-minute song, is really a sample of 15 minutes of music you created just being prolonged. If you really look at
Yeah.
it, porque tú pones four chord progression for what 4 bars, 8 bars is what a few seconds. Then you have the main melody. So really with a 3-minute and 30-minute song, really doesn't require that much music. It just everything just looped and changed around.
Yeah.
Whereas a composition, you have to play music. It has to change because it would sound extremely boring listening to a 3-minute and 30-second loop. So the creative process is just totally different. Both are fun in their own unique way.
Mm-hmm.
Porque a mí me gusta coger una capela de un artista que me envió una capela y you just run away and just do, completely change it. I mean, there's been songs that I've been gotten that I take an outro, and that little outro I convert it into like the main hook, como la de otra.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes something completely else. And then you open and you do this and that, or you get a song and like Sexy Robotica. It was in a different scale, and we changed it into something else, and it made it more fun and it fits. So everything is fun just in its own unique way, but you do get more creative freedom when you do a composition more than to a song.
And we also have trouble sometimes, a lot, is having an acapella is making it simple, a composition, because I know one thing that you're very guilty of is getting what the easiest keys for the ear and radio play would be, you always find musical ways to have those keys fall into the same family and work. But to the untrained ear or a person that's listening that doesn't have musical background would be like, okay, this it sounds right, but there's something off. Even though it is right, it's like what we call the up down up down.
I hate the up down up down.
And I don't even know how to explain the up down to people that don't know what that is.
Okay, so the up down, the best way I can describe it to you, it's okay. So bailando, just hear me out. Bailando, that chord progression, the up down, it works extremely well, but it's very hard. So, for example, let's say if they were to give bailando to 4 different producers, the way he's singing, there's no way to really break out of that because está marcando tanto los tonos que you can't really be really creative with that a cappella, and you'd be stuck
So
with
the reason we call it up down is because it usually goes something like this. Bum 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 bum. And if you have that,
up down.
that's up down because it starts up, then it goes down and up and down. If you have that, you can sing almost
Every song,
every song that
it'll
exists
fit.
in radio. And it's catchy to the ear because it just works. It's pleasing to the ear. But as us composers or producers,
It gets boring,
to us it gets boring,
really boring.
and we try to find ways to manipulate that so it still works with whatever the artist saying. But sometimes it's just
It doesn't work.
it doesn't work
And you have to
for
do it.
what other people want to hear, because they're like, oh, it sounds different, it's there's something off. But then if you go ahead and put the bum 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 bum, it's like, okay,
Eso
we're
es.
good. Perfect.
Ese es el palo.
Now put the bass line, put the drums, and put little melodies here and there, and you're good to go.
Que está muy bien, which is good. The thing is that when you're trying to do something, you're trying to create the best and give someone the best product possible.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes un artista puede ver como que uno no quiere cambiar por cambiarlo, y no es así. Uno quiere dar el mejor producto posible. And there are different ways, around that, but not everybody wants to see the whole process being changed, which I get it completely. But that's the problem with the up, down, up, down. So muchas las veces that we create music, we like to give the whole song done. Like when you get it, you have all the musical changes. You have basically 90% of what you will hear, the final product you hear in the reference. That's how we like to give the music. So that way we have the advantage of musically having the direction that we want. So when you hear it, you already know what you're gonna get. But we're gonna be happy with the final product, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
¿Verdad? Así.
Yeah.
Which I feel is the best way to approach it if you really care about what you're going el material que estás entregando. Porque eso es muy importante, porque eso es lo que define al fin lo que es un buen productor, pienso yo, mi opinión.
So, what's the goal? What is your, because a lot, people may not know what we may want to be doing and stuff like that. So, how would you best explain your goal and what's the dream?
So basically, it's very simple. My main goal, and it's always been since I've gotten the opportunity. Yeah, I want to be really good at todo el mundo quiere tener los premios y want the Grammy, but the main thing that I want is I would love to compose for a Disney or a Pixar film. I mean, any film would be great, but if you were to ask me what would I want, that's what I would want. They have a project with no music, just see a whole bunch of numbers and a whole bunch of scenery, and just make music. And I think people will be really impressed on what we could do with something as plain as a canvas, just with drawing or animals or whatever. I think that will be a great opportunity, and that's what ultimately what I would want to do.
Yeah,
That's the goal.
That's really is the goal, is composing and composition orchestrations for film, for TV, for Disney, for Pixar, and I think we can pull it off. Takes time to be able to get to that space because obviously networking is involved and meeting the right people to get into that. Um, we do, we're in an industry right now and, we have great connections and things like that. But I'm not sure if anyone in the industry that we currently work with deals with any of that.
I mean, I'm sure there's people, I'm sure there's lawyers, I'm sure
That
there's
may
there's
know
there's
something,
labels that
yeah.
may know, cuando están buscando por una canción para un trailer, I mean,
But that they're working
but
directly into it,
that's
I don't
not,
know.
no, because usually like those companies like Disney, like big major companies, well, Warner, so Warner will like, I have a publishing deal with Warner, so Warner will usually send me monthly like of what film is looking for some things or what artists. So we can we have that.
Okay, okay.
But we wouldn't have like Universal sending us like, okay, Universal está buscando esto, Pixel.
Yeah.
So if you guys know anybody that is in that space and is looking for
Let
music,
us know.
let us know. DM us or email us or however you want to do it, and you won't be disappointed.
So yeah, kind of wrapping things up. This first episode is just an introduction of us and um, how we came to know each other and what we're doing. We're still involved in the music. It's not something that we're going to let go at all. It's our passion, but this podcast is something we thought about, because a lot of people ask questions and they want to. A lot of people don't know about us. We're really kind of always been hidden in the shadows. Um, we formed the Night Riders. That's our group. That's our company. But a lot of people just know a logo. They may just know the name or have heard or seen the logo, but they don't know us as people or what we like. So this podcast is one way of doing that. Is also very good practice for us in regards to social media and
100%.
being in front of the camera and speaking, because this is the first time ever that I've spoken so much and that anyone's probably ever heard me speak in a social media like this. It's great practice, and I tend to go more into the English porque el español mío no siempre ha sido el mejor, pero también tengo que practicarlo. Entiendo el español, lo puedo escribir y leer, pero hablándolo, I
Un
gotta practice on
poquitito.
that. Ajá, estoy flojo. I don't sound no, I don't sound Puerto Rican. Entonces, so yeah, this is what really this first episode is about. But moving forward, all our podcast is gonna be everything that we like, random things,
Crazy things.
crazy things, things that
Fun
just
things.
fun things, funny things, and we're just here to have a good time, and that's it. And we can be critiqued and criticized and all that, but it really don't matter to us. We're straightforward. We're very humble, and we're not here to paint something that we're not.
No, I think that's been very clear. I mean, the people that know us know that, I mean, obviously, if we haven't used social media platform throughout all these years with all these songs and all this
Mm-hmm.
to our advantage, I mean, that pretty much says what kind of people we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're
So,
nerds, man. Like we listen to Disney music. He jams to Disney music in the car.
I mean, hardcore.
Yeah,
Like,
like
I'll get done with jujitsu to listening to Lion King. Like,
yep.
that's what I do. I go to
And
school in the morning taking my daughter, and we have like Disney trivias and shit like that.
like our
Legit.
our favorite films are Lord of the Rings. We love Star Wars. We love everything nerdy. Everything. Video games.
Speaking of
All
that,
on
I
the nerds.
remember in your mom's house, your cousin, she thought she would knew a lot of shit about Disney.
Oh yeah,
And she got smoked, bro.
and you beat her with that.
She got, I mean, handled, like manhandled. Like I'm talking like black, like if you know jujitsu, like this was like a black belt with first day beginner white belt, like just mauled.
Yeah, she didn't know nothing compared to you.
She was Shit, even didn't we have like the little thing you will play like 1 second of a theme to see if I can pick it up?
Oh yeah, like if you play like the first 5 seconds of a Disney film or
I
whatever,
was picking
you'll
it
probably
up
pick it up.
like
Yeah,
esto, just
yeah. I'm not there yet.
that's what it is. That's
There's still a lot of Disney films I haven't
it's a
seen.
lot. You gotta get with it, bro. You gotta get with it. That's the cool thing about being a dad. You get to. I mean, I always watch Disney, regardless. I think that's it's funny. At the first time I met Don Juan in the studio, he actually went into the room and I was watching. I think it was 101 Dalmatians, some shit like that. And I remember he was laughing. So everybody who knows me, like from way back in the day, knows that that's just what I do. But the cool thing about being a dad is that you can watch it and you can always say, "Oh, I'm watching it, but con la nena. I'm watching it with my daughter. I'm really watching it myself." But I can always say, like, "Usa, I'm just here con la nena, just watching Jungle Book,
Mm-hmm.
viendo a me, but I'm really watching it."
When you were the one that suggested it.
I'm the one to say, "Come here, let's just watch Lady and the Tramp. You're gonna like this shit." That's just what it is. It's just what it is. I'm the type of person that go to Disney probably like 6 times a month. And if I can go to every day, I'll be there every day. Just I go to Disney Springs just for the hell of it. Disney painting just because I've always wanted one, so I got a few
Oh
of them.
yeah, you've already got 2 of them.
And since you know me, I've always wanted un cuadro. So just to let you guys know how serious we are with this Disney stuff. It's just not, but
Yeah,
it's pretty deep.
we should change the name of our podcast to just
The Disney
The
podcast.
Disney Podcast.
He said, "Jodió Brian Hall." We're gonna
But
have
yeah.
Disney tier lists and shit. I should, you know what? I should just probably do like one day, do like a mix of like our top 10 Disney songs,
Mm-hmm.
just scratching and shit to it.
Yeah.
I think
Let's do that.
I think that'll be pretty cool. Un día esto, so I'll do a few reggaeton mixes, and I'll be surprised if I just can't wait to be king. I'll be scratching there.
Mm-hmm. For Warren Williams shows. I just can't wait to be
I
king.
just can't wait, and then I'll blend it with something else and just
El
do
Rey.
it. There we go. There we go. Just have a Disney mix, and then cartoon shit. What else? What else should we do?
For music wise,
No, I'm talking about for the podcast. Like
for
what else?
podcast, well, there's a lot of things that we like, and our normal conversations all the time. We always ask each other stupid questions like, "Oh, what's your favorite thing? Like, what would you rate this?" So I think on a few of our podcasts, we'll be doing ratings on things that we like. Usually retro things from the 80s or 90s that are long gone. Um, but things also that are relevant to today. So yeah, our podcast is gonna be all over the place. Every day is gonna be something completely different, and I think that'll make it fun too.
So basically, people are gonna get to know
These are
us.
our normal
Yeah,
conversations on
está
a
bien.
daily basis. The only thing now is that it's in front of a camera.
That's cool. That's cool.
So we'll wrap it up now, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Again, this is UTL Podcast. Stands for YouTube Live. Lex and Robin.
Hasta la próxima.
Take care, guys.
Adiós.